Miss Crystal, what animal are you making?
Oh, I'm making a zebra.
No way, me too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wait, if you're making a zebra, why are you making black stripes?
Because zebras are all white horses with black stripes on them.
No, zebras are black with white stripes on them.
Does it even matter?
Yes, when it comes to art, you have to determine what is the positive space or what is the negative space.
Positive, negative space. What's that?
Here, I'll explain it to you. Let's do a couple of activities.
Okay, show me.
Let's go. Today we're going to be learning about positive and negative space by making 3 pieces of art. Our first piece of art will be an apple. Our second activity will be making shapes. And for our third and final activity, we're going to make abstract art. The materials you're going to need for today's activity are a ruler, a glue stick, a pencil, an eraser, a pair of scissors, and please be careful when working with scissors or have a parent with you, and construction paper. Now let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about space. Alright, so let's go ahead and explain to Miss Crystal what positive and negative space are. But first, let's define space. So space is the distance or areas around, between, and components of a piece of art. So if we have this blank piece of paper, this is our working space. But if we add negative and positive space, we could turn it into a piece of art. Positive space refers to the subject of the piece itself. So if we look at this piece of art, our positive space would be the red, and the purple would be our negative space. Negative space are the empty spaces the artist has created around, between, and within the subject. So think of it this way. To make positive space, you're adding something to your blank piece of paper. And to make negative space, you take away or you leave it alone to create that space. Now let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to make our apple art, we're gonna go ahead and need 2 construction papers. They can be any color you want as long as they're the same size. So I'm gonna get one of my construction papers. I choose the colored one, the green one. And I'm gonna go ahead and fold this construction paper in half horizontally. And once it's in half, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out exactly at the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and work with only one sheet. The other one I could go ahead and save for later. So on this sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it, get my pencil, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw out half an apple. So to draw an apple, I'm gonna go ahead and make a round shape. It starts kind of like a heart, but the rest of the body of the apple is round. So we're making it round with a little tip at the bottom, like so. And then we're gonna make the core so that the core looks exactly like half a heart. And we're gonna make a leaf. So once we have all of our shapes, we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. We're not going to try to distress the paper, so we wanna leave it as intact as we can. Okay, so now that we have all of our cutouts, we're gonna go ahead and put them at one end. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble them back together. Just like this. We're putting them where they were initially. Like so. And now to make our negative space, we're gonna pick a couple of pieces and flip them over along this line to the other side. For example, we grab our leaf and flip it over exactly at the same spot. And we're gonna get the body of our apple and flip that over as well. Okay, so now that our pieces are where we want them, we're gonna go ahead and glue them down. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and add the finishing touch. We're gonna draw out our seeds in our core, just like so. And on the other side, we're gonna try to make them as similar as possible. And there you go. That's our apple. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next activity. All right, so for our shape activity, we're gonna go ahead and need 5 construction papers. One of them should be black, and we're gonna go ahead and set this one aside until we need it. And the other 4 should be colored. Once we have our colored ones, we're gonna go ahead and flip them horizontally, and we're gonna grab one of them. One at a time, we're gonna grab one, and we're gonna go ahead and fold that in half. So we're trying to keep it like so. We're gonna go ahead and fold this in half as well, and it's gonna go ahead and meet that line in the center. Just so that all of our rectangles are the same size. All right. So now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and turn our paper, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it once more. Right in half. So our paper should look something like this. All of our rectangles are even, and we only need one. So we're gonna go ahead and cut one out, and we're gonna go ahead and trace it on our other 3 sheets of paper to have one of each color and the same size. Okay, so we have our cutouts ready. They should look something like this, one in each color, and they're rectangles, all the same size. Now we're gonna grab one, turn it horizontally, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it. And we're gonna go ahead and draw half a shape on one end. It's gonna be the folded end, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and draw on that side. For example, I'm gonna draw right here a rectangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw half a rectangle or half a square, whatever, half of what I want, whatever shape I want. So it should look something like this, and you should do this for each one of your pieces of construction paper. I have some that I already drew out, so they should look something like this. I have all 4. Now I just have to go ahead and cut them out. All right, so now that we have our cutouts ready, we have our outline and we have our shapes. They're perfectly intact. And now we're gonna go ahead and grab our black construction paper, and we're gonna go ahead and start laying our background pieces down. So we're gonna lay one down on the corner first, and then we're gonna get the next one, and we're gonna go ahead and lay it down on the opposing corner. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same with the blue one. And with our last one, the same opposite corner of the blue one, just like that. And now we're gonna go ahead and grab our shapes one by one. So the green one is gonna go ahead and go under the green outline. The yellow one is gonna go ahead and go over the yellow outline. And we're gonna go ahead and repeat this for the other 2. So we're gonna go ahead and put the blue shape under the blue outline and the brown shape over the brown outline. Just like that. And now that we have it like this, we're gonna go ahead and glue it down. Alright, so this is how our artwork turned out. We could see that our positive space is all the colors that we included to this art piece, and our negative spaces is all the black that we see through the artwork. Now let's go ahead and move on to our third and final activity. Okay, so for our last activity, we're gonna go ahead and make this abstract art. We're gonna go ahead and need 2 construction papers. They will not have to be the same color, so get them opposing colors that are bright. Now, with one of our colors, we're gonna go ahead and get it, and we're gonna cut out a shape that measures 4 inches by 4 inches. I already have one cut out for me. So like this, and it should measure 4 by 4 on both sides. 4 inches by 4 inches, just like that. And now we're gonna go ahead and draw shapes on each side of our square. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it, and for starters, I will draw, let's say, a triangle right here. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a couple of squiggly lines, just like this. And now I'm gonna go ahead and draw any shape that you want. So it's gonna look kind of weird. And it's gonna look like this, but it's gonna go ahead and take up the space on one side. And this is what you want to do for each side. So you're gonna go ahead and draw your shapes on each side. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut them out, but keep the paper as exact as we can. Alright, so once we have our pieces and our cutout ready, we're gonna go ahead and center this. And we're gonna go ahead and put it in the middle of our paper, kind of looking like a diamond, just like that. And let's go ahead and glue it. All right, so now that it's glued down, we're gonna go ahead and grab our little pieces. We have to have all of them, and we're gonna go ahead and match them to their position. For example, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one, and I'm pretty sure it went here. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it out, just like so. Now I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down exactly in that position. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that for every single one of my pieces. We're gonna go ahead and match them, flip them out, and glue them down just like so. All right, so this is how our piece of art turned out. You could go ahead and grab your eraser and erase any pencil markings that you don't want. But this is how it looks. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's go ahead and move on to discussion. Okay kids, so I hope you had fun with this activity. Now, I have a couple questions for you. Our first question is, what is positive space? Yeah, that's right. So positive space is the subject of the piece of art. For example, if I have this zebra right here, would you be able to tell me what is the positive space? Yeah, that's right. So our background is white, so what we're adding to it is the black stripes. So that is our positive space. Now, what is negative space? Yes, so negative space is the empty space around, between, or within the subject. So for our zebra right here, what would be our negative space? That's right. So our background is black, so that is our negative space, and we're actually adding the white to it, so that's our positive space. So hope you guys enjoyed this activity. Go ahead and take any pictures or videos and send them to map@cityofmontclair.org.